Thank you for 34 subscribers! As I continue to pull this channel out of the obscurity of the underground, the next milestone will be 136 subscribers. This is also my 200th video, and I will be showcasing some of the best editing I have ever done on this channel, which is not saying much at all, but au contraire, please enjoy. Hey YouTube, short time no see. We keep it all things unorthodox here. Today we dive into the now massive world of Pokemon. I still remember buying my copy of Gold version at Toys R Us when I was just 7, a wee lad. Through all of my Pokemon journey since then, I've come to realize that I love having at least one Pokemon on my team that has as few weaknesses as possible, and teaching it moves that can be super effective against those weaknesses. So, 16 years of off and on training has led me to this point, to discuss with y'all every single Pokemon that has only one type disadvantage. There are a good amount of exceptions to this list, and they will be included later. Starting off with everyone's favorite type, most of you are actually indifferent towards this type, I notice, is the normal type. The one weakness of the normal type is of course fighting type. The current list of purely normal type Pokemon from all 7 generations are as follows. Rattata, Raticate, Meowth, Persian, Lickitung, Chansey, Kangaskhan, Mega Kangaskhan, Tauros, Ditto, Eevee, Porygon, Snorlax, Sentret, Furret, Aipom, Dunsparce, Teddiursa, Ursaring, Porygon 2, Stantler, Smeargle, Miltank, Blissey, Zigzagoon, Lanoon, Slakoth, Vigoroth, Slaking, Whismur, Loudred, Exploud, Skitty, Delcatty, Spinda, Zangoose, Castform, Kecleon, Bidoof, Ambipom, Buniri, Lopunny, Glameow, Purugly, Happiny, Munchlax, Licky Licky, Porygon Z, Regigigas, Arceus, Patrat, Watchdog, Lillipup, Herdier, Stoutland, Audino, Mincino, Cinchino, Bouffalant, Bunnelby, Furfrou, Yungoos, Goomshaus, Type Knoll, Silvally, and finally Komala. Definitely butchered some of those. Also, side note, Clefairy, Clefable, Cleffa, Togepi, Snubbull, and Gramble were all purely normal type before realizing their fairy powers in Gen 6. Next we have the electric type, and if you're a stranger to Pokemon, the only weakness here is the ground type. Thankfully the list of purely electric types is about half as long as the one we just went over, the normal type list. So for electric types we have Pikachu, the face of the franchise, Raichu, Voltorb, Electrode, Electabuzz, Jolteon, Pichu, Mareep, Flaffy, Ampharos, Elekid, Raikou, Electrike, Manectric, Mega Manectric, Peluso, Minun, Shinx, Luxio, Luxray, Pachirisu, Electivire, Blitzel, Zebstrika, Tynamo, Electros, Xurkitree, Zeraora, no idea, Zeraora? Zeraora. Yeah, that's pretty bad, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about. I'll put up a picture of that Pokemon. So I've managed to list off about 150 Pokemon out of the 807 total that currently exist. But no worries, these next few lists are much shorter. If you're still with me, drop a comment with your favorite one weakness Pokemon. Our next list includes all water ground type Pokemon. This is my favorite combination of types because the added ground type eliminates the electric type weakness. And although these 10 Pokemon have to deal with a 4 times weakness to the grass type, most of them can learn ice type moves by TM, which is not only super effective against grass, but also super effective against flying, dragon, and ground types. Wooper, Quagsire, Marshtop, Swampert, Mega Swampert, Barboach, Whiscash, Gastrodon, Palpitoad, and Seismitoad are the only ones blessed with this dual typing. Moving on, the Bug Steel Pokemon number just 7 in the entire Pokédex. Their one weakness is the Fire type, so please keep them tucked away in your party when going up against Gym Leader Blaine or Fire Breather or any Fire Breather I put Fire Breather Otis here because he has 2 level 29 Magmars, so be prepared. These 7 steel-plated bugs are Forretress, Caesar, Mega Caesar, Wormadam in trash form, Escavalier, Durant, and Genesect. The second to last section before we get to the exceptions is the Poison Dark dual typing. The addition of the Dark type here removes the Psychic weakness. Actually, Psychic now has 0 effect on these Pokemon, and the one weakness remaining is Ground type. Alolan Grimer, Alolan Muck, Stunky, Skunk Tank, and Drapion are the only 5 on this list. Dark/Ghost dual typing rounds out our main list. I also really love this type combination because prior to Gen 6, this typing had no weakness. That is because we had not yet been introduced to the Fairy type, which remains the only weakness to Dark/Ghost. The 3 Pokemon in this short list are Sableye, Mega Sableye, and Spiritomb. Now that I've finished the main part of this video, I feel an addendum is required to explain certain Pokemon and types that can only have one weakness in special scenarios, and types that used to have only one weakness before new types were introduced. Let's kick it all the way back to the Gen 1 games. I'm talking about Red, Blue, and Yellow. Psychic type was OP, especially Alakazam and Mewtwo of course, and its only weakness was Bug type because Dark type wouldn't be introduced until Gen 2. And to make matters better, only 3 out of the 4 Bug type moves in Gen 1 dealt damage, and they were very weak, meaning low attack power damage at that. They were Leech Life, Pin Missile, and Twin Needle. I guess you could slow down your opponents with String Shot first, but there was simply no advantage to be had over other types' movesets. Ghost type also benefited from the absence of Dark type in Gen 1, because its only weakness was itself, Ghost type, and the only Ghost type move that dealt super effective damage was Lick, because Nightshade always dealt damage based on the user's level, and Confuse Ray is only a status changer. Of course, the only Ghost types in Gen 1 were the Ghastly line, which would get wrecked by Dig and Earthquake on account of also being Poison type. The third and last type from Gen 1 to enjoy only one weakness is Dragon type. Now I know that Dragon type has always been weak to itself and Ice type, but hear me out. The only Dragon type move in Gen 1 is Dragon Rage, and it does 40 damage to an opposing Pokemon's health points 7 days a week. I rest my case. From Gen 2 through Gen 5, we have 2 Pokemon that had only one weakness prior to Fairy types taking the spotlight in Gen 6. These Water/Dragon types are Kingdra and Palkia. What a type combination. You only had to worry about Dragon type moves being super effective against you, but your Kingdra or Palkia could strike right back with Dragon moves of their own, as well as Ice type moves, if you were battling a Dragon type. Just a few Pokemon left to note here. Rotom is normally Electric/Ghost type, but when it possesses a washing machine, it becomes Wash Rotom, and thus becomes Electric/Water type. The cool thing here is that it still has its Levitate ability, which gives it immunity to Ground type, leaving just the Grass type as its sole weakness. Bronzor and Bronzong are Steel/Psychic type Pokemon, and if they had the ability Levitate, they gain an immunity to Ground type, so the remaining weakness is Fire type. This scenario is true for Gens 4 and 5, but changes in Gen 6 because Steel type now takes normal damage from Ghost type and Dark type moves. Thus, Ghost type and Dark type moves are super effective against Steel/Psychic Pokemon as of Gen 6. As for Bronzor and Bronzong's Heat-Proof ability, while it does have the damage of Fire type moves, I believe the damage is still counted as super effective. But I haven't played with Bronzor nor Bronzong, so don't quote me on that one. Finally, lastly, to end this list, we have the legendary Pokemon Arceus. This normal type is of course only weak to Fighting type, and when you give Arceus Zap Plate to hold, it changes to the Electric type, and you know by now the only weakness there is Ground type. That's all folks. If I missed any Pokemon or type combinations, dive down in the comment section, you know what to do. If you love Swampert as much as I do, let's be pals. If you want to see any of my unorthodox Pokemon challenges, check out my Pokemon playlist on my channel. Smell you soon.